good Thursday morning. Feeling a lot better today about the Mets as they take care of the Pirates easily and sweep the doubleheader. The Yankees continue to beat up on the Twins. They sweep their doubleheader. We got some bad news with the Jets and Zach Wilson yesterday. And football starts tonight. A great game. The Bills and Rams. It is the best time of the year in sports. Good morning, Boomer. How are you?
You know what? I am in such a better mood this morning than I was yesterday, G.
Good.
I mean, come on. The Mets gave me a laugher in the night game, and they gave Jacob deGrom 10 runs. And, you know, he just went out there. Wasn't great, as Gary and Keith were talking about it, but he was Jacob deGrom, and he happened to be pitching against the second worst lineup that was available for a Major League Baseball team yesterday. The first worst lineup, if you will, happened to be in the Bronx yesterday.
In that
happened
first
to be
game,
the Yankees.
yes.
Well, both games,
Yeah,
actually.
I know. Yeah, I guess. So, the first game felt a little bit worse than the second, but both of them were borderline unacceptable. But they won both games.
I mean, but it just goes to show you how injured the Yankees are, honestly. And, you know, certain guys showed up finally and for the Mets, and other guys, you know, had a little bit of a redemption in terms of the Grand Slam with Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Everybody's been all over his ass for whatever reason. You know, out of the 27 guys on the roster, he's the guy. He's like the I don't know, maybe like the 13th or 15th guy that maybe you want to say something about.
Well, I'll tell you why. I mean, I think because he was the mascot for Brian Cashman going meekly into this offseason. That's what it is.
Yeah, going to get Josh Donaldson
but that's what it was.
Money.
You wanted to know the question. You asked the question. I gave you the answer.
I mean, I was actually really, really happy for that guy yesterday, as were his teammates in the dugout, as you could see when he came into the dugout after he hit the Grand Slam. It was unbelievable. So both the Mets and the Yankees got their seasons somewhat righted. I mean, and they won doubleheaders, which, you know, Al, it goes to prove that not all doubleheaders are splits, and especially when the teams both needed it. And, of course, the Mets, have one more win than the Atlanta Braves, and now they go to Miami. And the Yankees have the Twins again tonight, man. The Twins couldn't have come at a better time for the Yankees.
Yeah, it's just perfect. I mean, it just goes to show you it really doesn't matter who the Yankees are. With those lineups yesterday, they're going to beat the Twins in every single situation. Doesn't matter what the year, who the players are, where the games are, just doesn't matter. They are going to beat the Twins. And the Marlins have lost 9 in a row. So hopefully it'll end up being a continued streak.
Don't even say that.
Well, I know. I always think the same thing. At some point they're going to get right. If they've lost 9 in a row, they're going to have to win some games. That's always my mentality. But I really hope that the Marlins continue to stink because that's exactly what the Mets need. And, oh, by the way, the Atlanta Braves now out on the West Coast. Going to be a little bit more difficult for them as they take on the Seattle Mariners, who are in the midst of their best season in 21 years.
Right. Well, you know what? Go beat them.
Yeah,
that's all I can tell you.
Yeah, right.
And
right.
Do what you got to do. You got to take care of business tonight against the Twins, who always seem to be like your doormat. And they put up on yesterday. I don't know if it was Amazon, trying to figure out where the game is and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, that first game I had to shut off. I in the extra innings where they couldn't score after that 3-2-3 double play, I said, I can't watch any more of this. I can't. I cannot.
Guzman is just
he's
a waste.
I mean, the guy, he was 0 for 4 already. He had the golden sombrero already in the game and then grounds into the 3-2-3 double play.
How about him looking behind as he's running down first base? Now, from he flinches. Big head says something about it, and then of course he's looking over his shoulder. Like, what are you looking over your shoulder for? And it just looked bad.
Yeah, I mean he's
and
not.
Now you know why this guy's not in the majors. This
right.
is why he's stuck down in the minors.
Yeah, well, it takes 75 injuries for him to surface into the major leagues. That's exactly why.
God,
but they won. But I had to shut it off. I watched the last episode of Hard Knocks. That's what I did at that point. I was like, I'm getting ready for football. I can't take this anymore. I got more baseball games to watch tonight. I can't
And we got football tonight.
And we do have football tonight,
by the way. And we also. I know this is not big on your radar. I know it's not big on your radar, but it is big on my radar because we finally got a U.S. men's singles finalist in Francis Tiafoe, who won an unbelievable match last night, 7-6, 7-6, and 6-4, and he won actually 2 tiebreakers.
And I don't care.
Yeah, you shut up. I do care because last men's finalist. No.
You didn't do a sports minute on this?
No, because I wanted
and
to
you're
talk
bringing
about
it up in the first 5 minutes? This is crazy.
It was great last night. And I got to say, I don't know. This is just my opinion. I get paid to give an opinion here, so I figured I'd give an opinion.
Gotcha, yeah.
I like Chris Fowler doing tennis with John McEnroe.
Okay.
I do. I'm just saying that. I don't know why I'm saying that. I'm just saying it was a very comfortable broadcast.
Has he been doing this for like a decade?
Yeah, but he's really
just
good at doing it.
noticing this now?
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not really
it's a good show, Friends. Actually, it's actually a pretty good show. I just noticed.
You're funny. You know, it's an even better show. Andy Griffith.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying though. I thought Chris Fowler does a great job. He's very relaxed, and he and John have a good sense with each other, and so does Patrick. But this was great last night to see an American man make it to the U.S. Open Finals. That's great.
Yeah. Sure. Great. Good.
Okay.
Happy.
So that's all I'm saying.
That's it.
He beat a Russian.
Boom! That's right.
I like that even better.
If you take some joy in that.
And by the way, this kid grew up in College Park, Maryland. You know where that is.
Oh, well, of course. Yes. You're very familiar with that.
The shadow of the University of Maryland.
Yep.
The American dream. His parents escaped the Civil War in Sierra Leone. And his dad came over, and he went to work for a friend of mine.
Really?
Yes. A guy by the name of Ray Benton, who was a part of Bell, Denton, and Falk, a law firm that created ProServe down in Washington, D.C., and Donald Dell, a very famous tennis player, and then a tennis agent who represented people like Jimmy Connors, Yvonne Lendl, Chrissy Everett, people like that. And his father was hired as a custodian on the property, and he and his two boys lived on the property.
Wow.
And this kid turned out to be a great tennis player, tennis prodigy, if you will, because he was exposed to it. And you saw it last. Anybody who's watched any of his matches through the U.S. Open, there you have it. You have it. No, it's not. So Francis Tiafoe has already made over $6 million as a professional tennis player.
Did you know that his great aunt is none other than Oprah?
I did not know that.
That's because I just made it up. Yeah,
okay.
I just made that up.
I don't know why you would make that up.
Oh, because all the other stuff sounded made up to me as well.
It's not made up. That's a true story. That's a 100% true story.
Yeah. Okay.
He's probably doing ESPN 30/30 on him or something.
I'm sure that they will.
Maybe they should.
I'm sure that they
will. Why
will.
Can't we have a little pride?
And I will check out on that like I've checked out in the last 3 minutes.
No, you haven't checked out.
I can't. I've got nothing for you with this. I'm not a goddamn thing.
The Mets won. I don't have to listen to Yankee fans bitch about Garrett Cole and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa and everything else today. And we got the Bills and Rams tonight, and you and I are going to be at the Matt Martin Foundation tournament. So
we are hanging out tonight.
We got a lot of things going on, man. I'm pumped.
There are a lot of things going on. I'm glad that you're pumped, and I'm glad that you're not down about the Zach Wilson news that came out of nowhere yesterday.
That's you know what?
He's going to miss a month. I'm sorry. We knew he was going to miss the first game. The fact that he was going to miss 3 games, I'm sorry. That was something new.
I told you that,
you didn't tell me he was missing 3 games.
With a meniscus and a bone bruise, that it was unlikely that we would see him the first month of the season. I mean, I don't know what, it's an injury.
That came out of nowhere. The first month of the season came out of nowhere. First, it was 2 to 4 weeks. He might be available for week 1. Then Salah was like, hey, he even said it in the cuts that CeeLo was playing yesterday.
I know, but
that he had a shot, and we were like, there's no way he has a shot in playing week 1, but a month?
That is the monkey wrench, is because of what Salah said and how he said it. And somebody probably went to him and said, hey, Rob, stop. Stop putting pressure on the kid. The kid's knee didn't respond maybe to the workout or whatever. And let's be realistic. We're going to go with Joe Flacco the first month of the season. Now, I'm going to go back to this. And I know that, I know the realities of the league. And I know that they drafted him number 2 overall. And I know we all expect to see, him on the field. And that's what you're hoping for a Jet fan. This kid's going to be your 10 to 15-year starter. I hope so, too. I'm just telling you from the other side of the coin where the other athlete sits, and even though he's 37 years old and he's thrown for over 41,000 yards and 227 touchdowns, I threw for more. So it's just, I would just say that if I'm the other athlete, I'm holding on to this job. And the only way he can hold on to this job is if they go out and win and he plays his ass off. Now, at the age of 37, they're asking Matt Ryan to do this in Indianapolis. Over 40, they're asking Tom Brady to do this. They're asking Aaron Rodgers to do this. And I'm not saying that he's any one of those guys.
Yeah.
But I'm saying he's more than capable of going out there and taking this young group of players that really are a number of high-end athletes out there and get them in the right spot, communicate correctly with them, get rid of the football, and move this offense like he did last year.
All right, so 2019, 2020, and 2021.
Neck injury.
Neck injuries. I'm not saying I'm not going with injuries.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He has started 13 games.
Yeah, and he's like 3-10 or something.
He is 2-11.
Okay, well,
in
close.
The last 13 games.
I know.
And he's also lost his last 7 starts.
Right. Well, he started out in Denver when Baltimore traded him to Denver. I thought Denver signed him as free agent, whatever, and it was not good. It was not a good fit. The coaching staff and it just wasn't right, And then he hurt his neck, and his neck hadn't been right. And from all indications, from what I'm being told, he's 100% healthy. I'm not saying he's the future of the Jets. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it from the athletic perspective, from the athlete himself. He has an opportunity now, and Saleh's just gushing over him. But he has an opportunity now to say, hey, I am a starting quarterback, and let me show you why I believe that I should be a starter in the NFL. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
I'm not saying that he should take over for Zach Wilson.
No.
I'm saying what he should do is go out there and play his ass off and make it a really difficult decision for the Jets.
It should never. What
are you going to do if they're 3-1 and he's averaging 280 yards a game and 2 touchdowns and he's thrown 2 interceptions in 3 games and the team has won 3 out of the first 4 games.
Yeah, if that happens, then obviously he's going to have to play a little bit more. But I can't imagine that happening with the way that he has played the last 3 seasons.
And I would say the problem is they're opening up against the AFC North, all 4 teams straight in a row. And you have 3 of the best 4 defenses in football in the Ravens, Browns, and Steelers. The Bengals have a good defense. I don't know if it's a top 10 defense, but I know that the Browns, Ravens, and Steelers all believe that they have top 10 defenses.
Yeah, of course. It's not going to be easy for either Zach Wilson or Joe Flacco, even though Joe Flacco has seen it before. But Joe Flacco's not the same player as he was when he was Super Bowl MVP and went and got that contract. He's a complete shell of himself. And then most times when you see him, he doesn't look like he doesn't even want to be there.
Right. So
half the time on the sideline.
So you got Lamar Jackson, Jacoby Brissett, so what? Joe Burrow, Mitch Trubisky or Kenny Pickett at that time, Tua Tagovailoa, Mac Jones. You got some pretty good young quarterbacks that you're going to see here early on in the season. And if I'm Joe Flacco, I swear to God, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to just try to just shut everybody up. That's basically would be the chip on my shoulder.
But is he that type of guy though?
No, he's.
You tell me all the time that he's gotten like the flatliner stuff that you say about Daniel Jones. Is he that type of guy who's walking into this thing with a chip on his shoulder?
Publicly he is a flatliner. There's no question about it. I think internally he's probably a pretty good competitor. He wouldn't have won a Super Bowl and a Super Bowl MVP. But I also know that when he was with the Baltimore Ravens, he didn't have to be the guy. It's kind of like
Matt. But he was, though, for that one season.
Yeah, but he didn't really have to be the guy because he had Ray Lewis there and he had John Harbaugh there. They were the guys.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Matthew Stafford out in L.A. Matthew's a hell of a player. He's a great player in Detroit, but he was never that Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady alpha male, Josh Allen alpha male, Joe Burrow alpha male, Justin Herbert alpha male. All those guys are the face of their franchises. Matthew Stafford, when he was the face of the Detroit Lions, you could say it was probably a lot to do with the Lions and their decision-making, but I would also tell you that his personality meshed well with Sean McVay because Sean McVay is the face of that franchise.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, that he didn't need to be. Well, now with this young team and the young quarterback out and he being the veteran and he's got to get this team with high expectations or higher expectations out to a good start, well, then you need to see a little more from him.
Well, of course so. I
don't know if he's capable of that. I just don't know.
Kind of had the similar situation for me.
Yeah, but you had that BDE back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Does Joe Flacco have that?
I had what?
The BDE.
BDE. Just tell me what the E stands for.
Energy.
Okay, I think I know what the BD stands for.
All right. You had that.
Okay.
Joe Flacco does not have that.
Well, maybe, hopefully he does. I would look at it, if it were me, I would look at it as an incredible opportunity to utilize a lot of good young players, whether it be Wilson, whether it be Moore, whether their stable of running backs that they have, an offensive line. Now, here's the one thing. There's always got to be one thing with the Jets. All right, so it's more than one thing, but because it's Zach Wilson is the one thing.
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing, I follow Rich Cimini. He follows the team every single day. He's over there, right? Mm-hmm. And I think poor Rich has got PTSD from covering the Jets all these years. He's always got to look for something that is even worse than just not having your starting quarterback. I mean, what could be worse than that? Well, Rich somehow, I don't know if it was ESPN research or he went to Pro Football Reference or I don't know what he did, but he came up with some mind-boggling negative stat to make us all feel really good about the Jets starting off this season. And that is the fact that no team in the history of the NFL that they can go back and find has ever started with a left tackle who's 37 and older and a quarterback who's 37 and older. So that was like the negative tweet of the day yesterday from my man Rich Cimini. And I'm like, Rich, he's been hit over the head with the idiot stick so much.
For a long time.
He just had to find something.
Of course, and he did. And I don't know if he found it or somebody gave it to him, but he certainly found it. By the way, how much money do you think Joe Flacco has made in his career? I'd like Al to take a shot at this. How much money has Joe Flacco made to this point in his NFL career?
$53 million.
No, more than that, Al. Much more than that.
I'm telling you, I knew you'd be way off. That's why I went to you first. Eddie, do you have a guess? How much money?
$89 million.
How does this sound to you? Because I know Boomer would probably get close. $174 million Joe Flacco has made. This is why the man has no chip on his shoulder at this point. This is why. $174 million for Joe Flacco and his unibrow and his no personality. You really did hit it at the wrong time. You really did.
You're not kidding. What are you laughing for? I mean, you laugh at me.
I'm not laughing at you. You've done well for yourself.
I'm doing well for myself.
You've
but
done
I'm
very
doing $147 million worth of well for myself. It's funny, talking to Dave Lapham and his podcast.
That's right. Yeah.
About the Bengals. He goes, Boomer, I've never seen a quarterback in all my life take care of his offensive lineman the way that you used to take care of your offensive lineman in Cincinnati because he was there to cover it.
Yeah, that's right.
And he, look, when Anthony Munoz retired, the Bengals didn't give him anything. I gave him an Explorer.
It's awesome.
And whatever. But the point being, I said, Dave, could you imagine if I were playing today and I were making $40 million a year? I think I would have written each one of my offensive linemen a $1 million check.
And you wouldn't be doing 8 takes of the UHC spots.
Exactly.
Putting on shirts.
Dressing up like a clown.
Well, first of all, I didn't dress up as a clown. If you want to see who's dressed up like a clown, what do you see CeeLo this morning?
Yeah,
Again, very disappointing.
Yeah, he looks like a strung-out gym teacher is what he looks like.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, I would have taken care of my offensive lineman. I would have given him each $1 million check.
That's awesome. I know you would. I know it's easy to say. I know that you would have followed through with that. Absolutely. All right, Boomer and Gio just getting started on this Thursday morning. CeeLo will be joining us in just a couple of minutes, tell you about all the baseball, get you ready for football.